Hey, yeah, okay. 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay, I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay, all my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay, so when I die, I ain't gon' be from old age. Somebody gon' want revenge, somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros, left pocket got pound. Somebody gon' want revenge, somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. Step back, let me get some room. Congrats every time I'm through. Same packet, nobody knew, so I never get confused. Hotel get a bird's eye view. Hotel got a waiting room. Read a magazine while you wait for me, baby. I'll be done so soon. Phone gotta be off. Each store got locks. I got some trusted shoes. 10K on the countertop. Don't look so shocked. It's nothing new. Death comes in threes. Wins come in twos. Cash comes in ones. Throw it up, celebrate some news. I do a good job. Pull up and pop out and pull out. Head on and hood on. Pedal.
From the second largest city in the U.S., Los Angeles, California, we've got football as EA Sports coverage of the NFL is on the air. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Seattle Seahawks and the Los Angeles Rams.
Let's go, baby. Let's go. What? 180. 54 Mike.
First carry now for the Memphis man, Darrell Henderson. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Goff now looking to throw. And he'll find Henderson there. It's complete. Third play here, this opening drive as they're up against a 3rd and 5. From the gun, here's Goff. That's going to be complete to his tight end, Everett. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. 16 yards is the pickup there, and a first down for L.A. On first down, Goff. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down.
Well, there's times when you see these catches that are made, and we just know the guys playing it are really wishing for college rules. Only need that one foot down instead of 2. It's awfully difficult on the sideline, isn't it?
On 2nd down now. It's Henderson. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Brings up 3rd down and 9. We go tonight. Like 20. 54. I got it.
Throwing on 3rd. Goff. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at the 20. Now a man who played collegiately here in the Golden State, Rashad Penny, trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Wilson. And it's hauled in by Nick Vanette. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 12 yards there and a first down.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that'll open things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
At the 38-yard line.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. To throw is Wilson. He's going to loft one deep left side here. Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. It's a big play there for Seattle. 54 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another.
And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Rashad Penny, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
The LA offense ready to go for their next drive, and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control you.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Brad McDougal. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
A first carry for the converted wideout, J.D. McKissick. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
2nd and 10 at the Rams' 20-yard line.
Ready? 48, come on. Squeeze, double.
Throwing on 2nd down, Wilson. And it'll be intercepted. Snags it for the pick. And he may want to track down that football, because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
An opening there on that first down run as he gets this forward for about 8 or 9. That looks to be 8 officially, so 2nd and 2.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Line of scrimmage, the 28 now, as they come up on 2nd and a couple. They'll run here with Lindsey. Trying to keep those big legs churning, but he's going to go down in the backfield. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
180. 54. Mike, 54. Watch the curve.
Goff on 3rd down. And the throw there going to be incomplete. And this pass defense, they were sensational in the win last week, and they're looking good here so far in this first quarter.
You know, we often talk about how offenses get locked in, and that runs over multiple games where they're really, you know, in that zone. Defenses can be the exact same way, and I think we're seeing an example of it here.
On is the punter, Hecker, as he gets this one away. 49-yard punt, 5 on the return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. A tale of two extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive followed by an interception last time out.
Now, it sounds like things balance out, right? What's that mythological thing that we do? If you have a candy bar, have a diet soda with it, it balances it out. And we know that's not really true, right? Because the interception, that sting lingers a little bit longer. Got to come out now and put together some nice plays.
Play action. It's Wilson. Flushed out right. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Check 48, Who that? 48 for Mike.
From the shotgun, Wilson. And that is incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender is making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And a good result there as that'll get out of bounds and pin them back at their 10-yard line. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
They'll run with Henderson here to begin the drive. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
Not today.
They'll run it here. This is their fullback getting the carry. And a short gain here across the 10 to the 12. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Well, big man with ball met bigger man on the other side of the line. A really nice play for the defense.
Watch 54. Watch 54. Let's go, D.
From the gun on 3rd down. Gone. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
Penny, a 1st down carry. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. Now it's Wilson. This will be caught at about the 6. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. J.D. McKissick. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. Here the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Extra point up and through by Myers. And it's now 14-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The LA offense ready to go for their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does. And
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Solomon Thomas, they love to see that from him as he slips in for the sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
So following the sack, they'll try to change their fortune here on 2nd and 13. 2nd down, it's Henderson. And he'll get about 6 up to the 27-yard line.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
The Rams on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 8. Goff. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Bobby Wagner, the former 2nd-rounder out of Utah State, with a sack.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. Now it's Lockett. A big hitter that time in the punt game. 66 yards on the boot. And it'll be Seahawk football as they take over deep in their own territory. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they can really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. He's going to wind up and air it out. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
Check 48 the mark. Check.
On 3rd down, Wilson. Escaping the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. The rushing numbers for Wilson maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the 1st down.
Zebra. 48 mark. 48 mark. We got it. Hey, look, 48. Look, hey, you know Mike, the 48 right now. Let's go. Too little, Cut. Mike, 48.
Now Wilson on 1st down. He's got his man here as Gary Jennings Jr. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. 23 yards on the play. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
So from Rams territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 41. On the run, it's Penny. They'll fight forward for a couple down inside the 40.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Right here. Mike 5'9", 3 bucks. Good job right there.
Now it's Wilson. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Russell Wilson with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever. There it results in a touchdown. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The LA offense ready to go for their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
They'll try and run with their fullback. They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on 2nd down.
A gain of a yard brings up 3rd and 3.
The Rams on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This time it's 3rd and 3. Out of the gun. Gone. They got a man. It's Woods. And the athleticism on the spin move allows him to pick up the first before he's brought down. Goff to Woods as the Rams move the chains. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Henderson now on 1st and 10. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game. And that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It'll be a 1st down for the Rams there on a pickup of 18. 2 minutes remaining in this 1st half of football. All right, coming up at intermission. Charles, you want to wait to enhance your Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll be alongside at half to take us through the weekend in the NFL. It's a gain of 15, and the Rams have a 1st down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And now a carry here for their fullback. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. That time the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold them.
Now a carry for Lindsey. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner.
Brings up 2nd down at the 40-yard line.
20.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Goff. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Third and long. It's gone. And Woods has it complete. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
At their own 25-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try and add to it in the second half. But there's a part of me that looks at this and says, first half going my way, I have a little bit of a cushion. Let's go ahead and try and extend things. If you've got some good plays drawn up, you might want to think about them right here.
They'll keep it on the ground again here. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach. The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple.
Watch the screen. 14. Watch the screen.
Here's Wilson. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Aaron Donald in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. Well, for last week's performance, which was so good, he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week. He got a lot of praise, and understandably so, from national media. Looking pretty good on that play, too.
And I love what he told us this week before the game. He talked about how much time they spend working on pass rush moves, every position, because anyone could go after the quarterback in their defense, and you can see how they've all absorbed their lessons.
And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
You and I both know most coaches are really fearful about their quarterbacks running with the ball. They don't want them to take that big hit. I don't think they worry about that with Russell Wilson. He's so smart in what he does, and we just saw it there on that scramble.
Play action. Now Wilson. He's going to look deep for more. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked, but instead they'll keep it on second down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Now Wilson throwing again. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up third. Well, that's a perfect example of how he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's game. He is just all around the football right now, isn't he?
That he is, and it's funny because I talked with the coaching staff about drills that they do in practice, and one of them is called matching hands. And as soon as that hand is launched by the quarterback, you throw up the opposite hand and match that hand with the cue.
Oh, he tries to get it to Metcalf, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith, and the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. But they needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the third quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break, taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys, let's go. Come on, capitalize on this one.
And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
They'll start on the ground. It's Rashad Penny, and he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Go, go, go.
From the 40 now on second down. Wilson flush to his right. He's got the tight end, Vanette. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. The catch and run pays off to the tune of 35 yards. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10.
We got three, fellas. We got three.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Wilson leaves this one with Penny. A strong broken tackle on that one. And then they get him to the ground just shy of the 15.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
They will run it. It's McKissick. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th. And Myers able to knock it through. And that will stretch the lead up to 3 touchdowns now. It's a 21-point game. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
The LA offense ready to go for their next drive. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. Here's Henderson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
A gain there of 12 yards and a 1st down L.A.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield, incomplete. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10.
Tighten up, pull it together.
Goff on the draw play to Henderson. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
Well, if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now a give, right side. Carroll. And he gets this only to the 41. Not near enough for the first. It'll be a gain of 7, but I'd imagine we'll see the punt team here on 4th down. Here's Johnny Hekker now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. Your 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
On 2nd and 9, Wilson. He's going to loft it deep right sideline. It's caught inside the 25. It's a big play there for Seattle. 56 yards. CD, with that last pass, he joined a group of about 50 other men that are over 30,000 career passing yards. So, look, he's not at the top, but that's pretty good company.
Yeah, it's not the most exclusive fraternity in the NFL, but it's a pretty good one, isn't it? You still have to put some numbers up in order to get in, okay? The secret knock is still there. How about him getting it done? Proud of him. 2 big
plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Wilson. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Aaron Donald racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
That's his 2nd sack of the game, and the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
Another try after the 1st down sack. Wilson. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Myers connects on the PAT. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. The L.A. offense ready to go for their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Back now in Los Angeles. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Now a run with Henderson. And the result here the same as the last play. Another tackle behind the line of scrimmage by this Seahawk defense. Continues to be a struggle for this offense and this home crowd. They're growing a little restless here in the second half.
And I think they've just got to look at how they're trying to move the football. Yeah, you want to run it, but maybe you spread it out, maybe some swing passes that can take the place of runs and give you a little more space.
And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 43. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
On 2nd and 11 now. Goff. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. Here's Johnny Hekker now. He's been terrific so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away.
Let's go, baby.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a 1st down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Out. 3 down. Out. Watch 20, check 20.
Throwing is Wilson. And nearly picked off there, almost intercepted. Instead, 2nd down. They're still throwing the football here, and obviously the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
Yeah, I guess you're right. If they can get some 1st downs, just as good as running the football. A gain of 13, it's a 1st down.
Good route, good pickup for 1st down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover. The angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 1st down, Seattle, 16 yards, the gain there.
And the Seahawks 1st down.
59. You ain't going nowhere.
On 1st down, Wilson. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield. Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
And now, is it fourth down? No, it's third down. And the field goal unit is out onto the field. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Well, this is a new concept. It's third down, but they've got the punt unit on. And he gets off a high spiraling kick.
The Rams take
Good
over
work, boys.
first
Let's
and
go.
10
Let's
at
go.
their own 20-yard line.
The L.A. offense ready to go for their next drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
On the draw, this is Henderson. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
180. Mike spot 4. Man, I got you. Man, I got you.
3rd and 2. Gone. Man open. It's Cup. He's got it. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards. Goff now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Rams football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. They run with Henderson, and they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down in the backfield. After seeing that, maybe time to go back to some downfield throws here.
Yeah, anything. Change it up because the teams that win, the best teams, they're the ones that make adjustments. Doesn't mean you can't come back to what you thought you could get done. Sometimes when you open things up a little bit, you can get back to what you wanted to do before.
Now it's Lindsey. 5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves him with 3rd and about 6 yards to go.
On just about every team, okay, forget it. On every team, the goal is to be in 3rd and what they call manageable, to give yourself a chance to pick up a 1st down. How about that call on 2nd down? The big man puts them in position to make it 3rd and manageable. I wonder if he'll get a second chance at it to try and pick up the 1st down.
On 3rd down, here's Henderson. And he'll get this to the 40, but that's still going to be a few yards short of the 1st down. It'll be a gain of 4, but it won't be enough. It leaves him with a 4th down now.
It's 4th down.
The offense staying out. They're going to go on 4th and 2.
Oh, yeah. And here we go again. Here we go again.
Henderson going to run for it. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. So the victory here for Seattle. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for the Seahawks, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season.